Hey guys, Ethan Howard here. I just thought I'd do a quick video. So um, there's there's a rock and a hard place, I think, in the world, and um, the topic that I wanted to introduce today, I think, is probably the bigger solution to the problems a lot of the problems that we face. Um, so this is coming from a perspective of someone that considers themselves a sort of researcher, right? But also a researcher that has a fundamental hate of academia. And I know exactly what you start to think when you start thinking, when you start hearing someone say that, depending on where you come from, right? The fact I call myself a researcher will get hate from um, the group of people that hate academia, and the people that um, have achieved all their accreditation through academia will look at me and go, "Well, you're a kook." Um, and this is without looking at any of my work, any of the things that I've done. Um, you start to gain that um, idea, um, and it's this, and it's something that I hope this video corrects, right? Just the general attitude that leads to these, because I think if in 2026, more than ever, humanity is equipped to live a life completely free of having to pay for knowledge. That is my sort of um, fundamental belief, right? Um, Knowledge should be free and accessible. Okay, and whether I learned it from a professor at Harvard or a YouTuber like Veritasium or whatever it is, the knowledge that I learned is still just as good. And in fact, I think the knowledge and understanding that we get online is far more easy to understand in a better format and leads to better outcomes in terms of education than traditional schooling actually gives us. It's not structured, it doesn't fill in all the gaps, but um, the knowledge that we are provided online is invaluable. And I think going forward, um, possibly the best solution would be to sort of keep track of what people are learning online, sort of giving kids the internet and just being like, hey, just go learn, right? And then having like an algorithm just kind of steer them towards education for 6 hours a day, and then just remember, like, this is what he had, and then like this is what he's learned, or this is what she's learned, right? And then you know a, a quiz, like those YouTube quizzes that pop up, like, what's the answer to this question, and just to make sure, you know. And I think that's free education, scalable, and a much better solution for the future. um, and the purpose of keeping track would be to sort of be there for, in general, work purposes. And like, I do understand a doctor, for instance, who would want to go study. Um, Lawyers, you know, probably same thing. Um, but these are assumptions we shouldn't hold in stone. And we should be ready for those big societal stage like changes. And in fact, um, I have a deep anger at society for not realizing the opportunities sooner when they existed in the first place, many years ago, 20 years ago, for instance, and seeing that this great transformation could have taken place. And the fact that, so much could have happened in the world that didn't, because what I see as, and I mean, like, this is where I think, academia has proven itself to be a business that's trying to hold on to a monopoly, like Facebook, not like a um, truly noble institution that they claim to be. We're all about knowledge, or we're all about the education of the world. We're all about the betterment of um, the planet and humanity, and giving opportunities, and the money's just to make it happen, kind of thing. And like, they can almost make themselves look like charities, where in actual fact they're businesses. And in some countries, academia can be like up to the third biggest industry in a country. And when you see that, it's not small business. Academia is big business. And then in fact it actually becomes a case of perversion, right? So perversion, we think, can only happen in terms of sexual contexts, but perversion can happen to any noble thing that just turns rotten ultimately. And I feel like academia has taken knowledge, something truly pure, sacred, beneficial, and it's turned it into that very disgusting thing. And someone that has a profound love for understanding itself, and truth and wisdom and knowledge, and just like learning about the world around me, seeing this happen to something I care deeply about, meant that I didn't want to be involved in it. And then worse off was, I mean, I've made a lot of progress, and it's stuff that I could have published. And then I went to go publish in someone that wasn't ever in academia. I went to go publish good papers, and they started asking me to pay publishers money to publish papers that then go into journals that people have to pay to access. And I spent a lot of time working on that stuff. I have to pay to publish it, and people have to pay to read it, or whatever the case is. Or, pay for open access was the other one. And so I think AI can solve those problems, but if you actually understand the root of this problem, and like understand sort of where this all came from, it was absolutely a money-making scheme, and disgusting how far in advance the world will be if that situation had changed, if we could find a good solution to that. And I don't even think it's hard. I think someone should create a journal similar to Archive, but just fundamentally AI powered, and free and open and accessible to everyone. But the reason for this video is none of that, right? That was just to explain the reason why I don't necessarily believe in academia. It's not that I believe that the knowledge they teach is wrong, or they're trying to indoctrinate people, I do believe there's a lot of ethics committees hiding data they think is unethical, which I think is in itself unethical. If you have data on a subject and you choose not to publish data on a subject because of ethical reasons, I think what you land up with is indoctrination, not education. But aside from that, I do see the problem with people that come out and profess to be like sort of autodidacts or self-proclaimed, self-taught scientists. And it's not necessarily in the idea itself, it's generally in their approach. And their approach is to generally go out and prove that everything everyone knows is wrong, which, I mean, is setting them up to fail. And in doing so, anyone that has taken the route of not going down mainstream academia has sort of landed up clumped in a group of people who try push things that are quite frankly delusional. I can't say that language is fair, because I wholeheartedly believe those people believe what they're saying, and I also think, you know, it's two sides and both are kind of wrong, if that makes sense. So like, there's the academia side, and I find that they need some of what the other side has got, that open-mindedness, the willing to challenge everything you know. But this side needs this side to have the groundedness of, we have to have the constraint of everything we know true. And I think when those sides come together, that's when those big leaps of innovation come. And they come as nuance to what we already know, right? Whenever you go onto a new site and you see the title, "Everything We Know Is Wrong," or some crazy physics, or like that completely destroys our current model of physics itself, right? To make physics work, you can almost in every circumstance actually, just without even clicking on the title or clicking on the video or reading the article, right, already know that whatever idea they're pushing must be false. Because it's like, imagine trying to fix a small problem in physics but then breaking causality itself. So it's that charlatan nature, and those ideas can come from actually either side of the aisle, right? But so this isn't a people thing, right? This isn't me against either one of these sides. It's not an attack on people, right? It's just I think there's a war going on, and instead of the war going on, we should actually look at the nobility of the other side, and in that find the solution to the problem that's being created there. Ultimately, researchers are here to solve the world's problems, for now, until AI takes over. I mean, I'm a researcher, I solve problems. I don't know how long. I don't know how long. Like, how long? I don't know. But yeah, this is the video, and I hope you tune in for tomorrow's video. But yeah, I'm Ethan Howard. I'm an intelligence researcher. So yeah, I've been an intelligence researcher for the last 12 years now, and this is where you can find some of my work. I hope you like this video. I hope you click subscribe, and also got a sort of idea that my ideas are both grounded but open-minded at the same time, and I think that's important. But sweet, until next time.